Mr. Farouk, promises are very sacred, right? Especially when it's made by people, politicians. President Tinubu has fulfilled exactly 11 out of 53 tracked promises. That's about 20.8% fulfillment rate 3 years into his term. President Tinubu didn't need to make this promise. Hope you know that. It came from him. So the things he promised Nigeria, out of 53 tracked promises, he's only fulfilled 11. 20% in the last 3 years. So if a man promises you something, and out of 100% of the promise, he can only fulfill 20% of his own promise, has the man not failed himself with his promises?
Well, it's subjective because these things, government is work in progress. And let me also make one confession. Sometimes when you're in opposition, there are certain assumptions you make. By the time you get into the office, when the truth glare at you, you know that, look, certain promises you made cannot be fulfilled. So that's it. And in fact, this goes with virtually every government. You promise certain things based on certain assumptions, but then when you get into the seat, now you realize that it's probably certain decisions taken by successive governments, government before you, they had their reasons for doing that. So these are some of the challenges of politicians as well.
So, Mr. Farouk, why do you then deceive them with a promise when you have not done your study before you make the promise?
Deceit.
You didn't. No, hang on a minute. It becomes. See, if you're saying that there are things that when you get to the government you discover that you are hazy about, it's best not even making the promise. And that's why I deliberately said these were promises by President. He might choose not to have made it. We will not hold him accountable by him. But he decided to make the promise by not checking those things. And you say when you got to power it was different. But this was the same person that was so quick to criticize Jonathan over insecurity. Do you know the names and the protests that happened? So when you were saying then you were going to fix the problem of insecurity, that Jonathan was clueless, you didn't understand and empathize with what was going through. Now you're now saying that it's because of what you met in power. That's one. Number two, I've been seeing a lot of APC surrogates make a very diabolical argument. And the argument is, rather than ascribe that the president and his administration has failed as regards tackling insecurity in many areas, some areas they've had successes, I give it to them, but mostly they failed. They are now saying that it is because President Tinubu's re-election is coming and some elements don't want him there, that's why they are making all these insecurity situations and scenarios. If you agree with that argument, can I also ask that, is it because Sheyi Makinde declared for president, that's why they also allowed the kidnapping situation happened in your state? Because if you are saying, oh, it's because of President Tinubu, that's why this is happening, can I also make the argument for somebody in the opposition, Sheyi Makinde, and say, is it because Sheyi Makinde also declared, that's why that is happening?
Okay. Now listen, Rufai, you see, I totally don't agree with those people who say that is the fault of opposition. No. There is no. And then if you talk about Sheyi Makinde, did the governor of Zamfara declare for presidency, or did the governor of Kebbi, other governors? No. It's not about Makinde or any other person. And I do not subscribe to those members of APC that think that this is work of opposition. It's totally untrue. This is not the work of opposition. I don't believe so. I believe these are criminals, insurgents, and hooligans that we should, meet head on. So we should not politicize this. And I honestly take exception to members of APC, anybody that comes to say that is opposition. It's not opposition. It is just, they are just, playing politics with it, and which also it should make Nigerians angry because it has got nothing to do with politics. We have criminal elements in our country we have to deal with, so we have to do. We in government, it's our responsibility to make sure we deal with them, and we're doing our best. So that aside, then talking about when we call Jonathan clueless, don't they call Tinubu all sorts of names as well? They do. So it's all part of the gimmicks. When we were in opposition, we had our reasons for calling Jonathan clueless. But that is also true that when you are in government, when you are out of government, there are certain assumptions. And of course, we do studies. There are studies that we do before we come to the office. But I am telling you, some of the studies, you get them wrong. By the time, even if you think you've done it correctly, difference between classroom and practical. What you see in class is different from what you see practically. So that I agree and accept that, look, there are certain assumptions we made. When we came to the office, we found out that, look, these things are far beyond what we expected. So that's why some of the glitches you're seeing now.
When people come out and say Tinubu and APC people, they are all liars, they are lying. We know that they are lying. How can you tell us that the insecurity happening in the country is as a result of the oppositions, that the oppositions are the ones, causing all these problems? Really, oppositions. We know it's a lie, and their full soldiers will come out and be spewing nonsense. And I've said it over and over again, and many Nigerians have said this over and over again. When you know that oppositions are the ones causing problem for you, is that not what will make you to shine? You will use them as example. That is political goal that you need to score. You will use them as as an example because you are sure that they are the ones causing this insecurity. I don't understand the meaning of that. Then they'll come and tell you that Tinubu knows what he's talking about. When they were asking him about insecurity and he was talking about animal and a child, and some people said, oh, you don't understand the history or whatever. So is it the history of a child and animal that is going to use to solve the insecurity? Oh, some people now say that he doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to give a clue. You all must be insane. Now that this APC man is saying this, is confirming that anybody saying that it is the oppositions that are causing the problems in this country, the people are not sincere, that it is a lie, that that is not the truth. Whether himself believe it or not, but that is not the truth. What are we talking about? That is the same thing we are saying. You know the truth and you will be patching things, and you are the one suffering, telling us that somebody is fixing this country. Even if you spend 8 years, at the end of the day, nothing will happen. No, nothing will happen. And you come and tell us another person will come in. Whatever reforms you are doing at that particular time should be reflective. In the lives of the people. How can you tell us that you are building a solid one thing? Solid when you know that you are not going to be there? After some time, somebody will come and change the trajectory. You are telling us that you are building a reforms that will manifest or will yield fruitful results maybe in 40-30 years. Are you going to be there? Will another person not come and scatter the whole thing? Whatever reforms you know you are doing must have be reflective in the lives of the people. When they talk about this useless and stupid loan, it's student loan, it makes me cringe. How can you tell us that you increase school fees? How many people are getting the student loan? Is it for everybody? And meanwhile, the school fees has been increased. Those who cannot get the student loan, they will be forced to pay the increased school fees. Well, kudos to this guy for saying the truth. Whether he says the truth or not, it is the truth. It must be the truth. So we need the APC supporters to come and counter what this guy has said. The question is that what are the 11 things he has done? Let us know. He answered well. You gain my respect, Mr. Farouk. So guys, let's say your opinion and have your take. Okay, because Tinubu had no blueprints before running for president. He wasn't even ready for what was coming ahead, and that is why he has been overwhelmed.